Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Let me know when you get on if the picture and sound quality is good for our impromptu live stream for today. We're just gonna. It's felt like catching up with everybody, seeing how it's going, and talking about some stuff I learned over the last week or so, and just really getting to connect with all you guys again because it's been a minute. So, but yeah, once there's some folks on, let me know how the sound and picture quality is and all that stuff. So I know that I'm not just talking to myself because that's embarrassing when that happens. Got about 9 or 10 folks on right now, which is a pretty good turnout since there was no announcement. That said, everybody's being a little bit shy. So let me see what I can do to get some eyeballs going. Let's try this too. No, that's not going to work. Keith says, "Hey Chris, I can see and hear you clearly." Hey Keith. Tatia says, "Hi Chris." Hello Tatia. Gonna have to get used to looking at comments in two places too, because I'm having to stream directly to Facebook as opposed to StreamYard. So I was missing some of the comments before. If anybody has any questions on anything, let me know. This is not really much of a plan for this one. But I still wanted to get back in the swing of doing these pretty frequently. Now people starting to roll in. Tatia says, "How was the event you spoke at?" For those that don't know what she's talking about, last weekend, it's what, Thursday now. Last weekend, I spoke at a, what was it called, World Search Conference in the Philippines in Manila, and it was a wonderful experience. I got to speak in front of maybe a couple hundred people about marketplace SEO and making money and stuff like that, and then I also got to spend some time with some of the Legiit team that lives there, and get to meet them in person, which was very, very special for me. And I also got to meet some of the freelancers and customers we have on Legiit too. So that was really special. And then did some exploring and some touristing that my team was kind enough to. I don't want to say my team, that the team was kind enough to arrange for us while we were there as well. So it was really great. It was really great. And really taught me some stuff that we need to be doing better, and gave me a chance to really understand our customers and freelancers and everything else. So great event. I can't recommend it enough. So thank you for asking. And that's kind of why I've chose the topic. And even though these are really just kind of free form Q&A, ask me anything type of things, but that's kind of why I chose the topic that I did for today, is that everything here ran smoothly while I was gone. We had some actually really massive killer days while I was away, and I wasn't doing any work whatsoever, at least not on the typical day-to-day stuff that I usually do. So that was really good. So I don't know. I can't give it a high enough score. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Shannon says, "Hey there." Hey, Shannon. If you are watching this, really anywhere that you're watching this, but particularly if you're watching this in the Superstar SEO Facebook group, and it might have cross posted to the Legiit Facebook group. I'm not sure if I did that right. Just let me know if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to talk about or cover or comment on or whatever. We're going to start doing these. I'm going to try to do these every weekday. So if you're watching on like YouTube, be sure you subscribe. And I think it's notifications you have to turn on. And then on the other platforms, do whatever it is you have to do to make sure that you get notified and that you get to see them and so on. And so you don't miss out because I think I can bring you a lot of value. I really want to start interacting with the community here again. Tatia says, awesome. Let me check and see if we're in the Legiit Facebook group as well. We're supposed to be, but I don't know how that works. Yeah, it didn't work. All right. Well, wonder if it'll let me go do this. But in the meantime, if you have any questions about SEO or business or anything I can help you with, let me know. We may not stay on very long. I just want to get back in the swing. No, can't do that for some reason. Back in the swing of like doing these regularly because I enjoy them. And in the past, there has been, a lot of interest in these and been very popular. So, yeah, like the title on this one, and to be honest, I didn't want to just put live stream as the title, but it was how to make money while traveling abroad. And I put that because, like I said, the business ran on all cylinders without me. Like, that's not to say that I'm not needed, because at least I certainly hope that's not the case. But I don't have to be there every single minute because we have systems and team and people in place to run and grow and scale. In fact, I feel like everything is being as productive as it ever was. For those of you in the Facebook group, I don't think there's a way for me to show your comment on the screen because I'm streaming directly to Facebook. So I'm just going to read them as they come up. Monari says, how was your trip to the Philippines? As I was telling Tatia a minute ago, it was fantastic. Made a lot of good connections, got to meet a lot of great people and see some great content. And I was able to hopefully bring some value to some other people. So it was a great trip. Mubashir says, hi, Chris. Hello, Mubashir. Nafiz says, hey, boss, how are you? Doing good, my friend. I hope you are doing well as well. Pretty good turnout considering there was 0B promotion beforehand with this, although I don't really know where I was going with that, although. So, if anybody has any questions or anything they'd like to talk about, let me know. We're probably only going to stay on here for about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes or so, and then we're going to dip. But be sure to tune in tomorrow, and I'm going to do a much bigger stream. I might do an announcement or something like that, but we're going to start doing these at least. Well, I'm not going to promise, but I'm going to do my best to start doing these 5 times a week. So be sure to subscribe, be sure to like, be sure to follow, be sure to comment, and we will see each other then. I did these during the pandemic and it was really good for business, but it was also really good to just get to know everyone and stuff like that. So Zahid says, hello, have a nice day. Hello, Zahid. I hope you have a nice day as well. Hey, Chris, my name is Rajwal. How can I get a client for website development? Put together a portfolio of sites that you have developed in the past and find businesses with shitty websites and outreach to them and ask them if you maybe even do a mock-up of what you think their site could look like. Send it to them and say, if this is something that interests you, let me know. And, just do some cold email and some cold DM like that. And don't do spray and pray. You do some targeted outreach where you specifically find people that need your help, show them what you can do and tell them how it could benefit them, and then ask them if they'd like to do more. That's what I would do if I was trying to do a web design agency. So give that a try and then come back and let me know how it goes. Let's see. Try that in the future. Joseph says, "Hi, Chris. Looking good. I'm trying to improve my YouTube channel as well, and I would love to hear any tips." Well, the number one tip is to just start posting or making videos. I've been dropping the ball on that since mid-July or so because I've had other things going on, but we're getting back to it. So there's that. Unfortunately, thumbnails are really important. Even though I didn't make one at all for this live stream, but thumbnails are super important to that because they just are. It's just the way it is. The titles, make sure you have a good topic that interests people. And in the first 8 seconds or so, make sure that you deliver on that title and that topic and that thumbnail. That's a good place to start. Mohammed, what's up, Mohammed? How was your trip? It was fantastic. Thank you. What was the most surprising thing you learned about running a business while traveling? There's a lot of technology that doesn't work right when you travel abroad. Thought I planned for everything, but I got international calling and data and texting on my phone, and it still didn't work. So thankfully, my wonderful, wonderful executive assistant was wise enough to buy me an eSIM ahead of time that I used to make my phone work. I tried to pay someone with Cash App while I was there, and it wouldn't even let me open the app. Little things like that you just don't expect that don't work the way that they do when you're where you are normally, or at least that was my experience. Thankfully I have a great support system to make sure everything runs anyway, but try to think of as many technology things as ahead of time as you can would be the surprising thing to me. Rajwal says, "Thank you, Chris. Enjoy your day." Curious says, "Hey, Chris, good to see you again. Good to see you as well." Hey guys, just so you know, I have a new policy on the channel. Anybody that asks me how to get orders on Legiit, I'm going to be removing your ability to comment on streams and stuff like that. So no offense, I love you, but I'm not going to answer those anymore. If you ask it more than once, I'm gonna make it so you can't ask anymore. Joseph says, "Thank you, appreciate that. Would definitely try those." Alasis, I can't help you financially, but I'm sorry that you're going through that. I hope that you get the help you need, and I hope that you and your family and friends are safe and taken care of. So we're all thinking about you, and I hope it gets better for you. If you have any specific questions about any topic, I'm happy, other than how to get orders on Legiit, I am happy to address those. So let me know. We'll probably hang out for another 5-10 minutes or so, and then we're going to wrap up. But the main thing I wanted to accomplish with today's stream is to get you used to streams, me doing these streams again. So the way you make sure that you don't miss out tomorrow and maybe on the weekend, it depends on, whatever else I have going on. But we're going to do these really, really frequently again coming up. Curia, is that right? By the way, I know your first name says Wajiku and then Curia, but as far as I know, you go by Curia. So let me know if that's correct. She says, "Quick question. Not sure if we talked about it, but since Legiit changed its logo, are we about to see a new change in the theme as well as terms of colors and the design? Purple looks good. It'll still be purple themed, but there are going to be some pretty heavy design changes by the end of the year. We'll put it that way. So be on the lookout for those. But yeah, the logo, to be perfectly honest, I never was perfect. I was never super happy with this version of the logo. I haven't gotten a chance to get some new merch yet. But that's the main reason we changed the logo. I was never really happy with it. I'm very happy with the one that we replaced it with recently. So, but there are going to be some pretty heavy design changes coming up as well. So be on the lookout for those. Hi, I'm a video. I don't care. Again, last chance. Anybody that says stuff like that, you're banned from the channel permanently. So if you say that one more time, and I'm not trying to be mean, but in the future, you're getting removed from my channel. I'm not going to be answering that ever again. And I don't really care if it helps you or hurts your feelings or anything like that. Let's see. Elastis says, thank you for streaming. I'm trying to figure out how to cross post to more pages. There's a button here, but it doesn't seem to work. The interface on Facebook, like direct live streaming, isn't the greatest. All right, guys, we'll go another at least 5 minutes, but if there's still more interest, then I'll keep going. But as of right now, it's pretty minimal, which is to be expected. I didn't announce this, and it's not something we have been doing regularly, although we are, as the kids say, finna start doing it again. So be sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever the hell it is you do, wherever it is that you're watching. And because I want to get to know everybody again and get back in the swing of doing these. We're also live on Instagram. And once I get a new phone, we're going to start going live on TikTok as well. TikTok lives get really, really good reach. So that's cool. And there's probably some folks there that I'm not reaching, and I want to reach them because the more folks I reach, the more money I make, which is really the goal of everything I do. Not really, but But if anybody has anything else they want to talk about, we'll do that. Maybe I'll just I don't know. I'm not really into video games, so I'm probably not going to do that. Maybe I'll just find out, I'll just do things while I'm doing these and kind of live stream in the background so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And it won't just be me sitting here looking pretty with the black tape on my schnoz and talking to you. So maybe I'll think about that over the weekend and do that. But we're going to be doing these a lot more often. Those of you that have been around, I think Keith is on still, since like 2020, know that we used to do these all the time. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot easier back then because there are a couple tools that I used that don't work back then that don't work anymore, which is unfortunate. But if things don't always go our way. VFM SEO, you're wrong. It doesn't take that long at all, ever. It's a problem with your internet connection. There's nothing for me to work on this. What you need to work on is getting a better internet connection so it loads fine for you. So that's your problem to fix. Go fix it. Okay, I already told you that I'm not going to do that, and now I'm going to have to ban you. So you did it to yourself. This isn't a fucking charity. I'm sorry, I don't have any more patience for people taking advantage, like hijacking my agenda. Nope, not doing that either. Tatia says it works perfect for me. Yeah, it works fine. There's a problem with VFM SEO's internet connection that I'm sure that they're going to go fix now. Shannon says that's how I found you, the 2020 live streams. Yeah, I'm trying to recapture a little bit of that magic and kind of get back to what worked. You know what I mean? So thank you for letting me know that. Just making sure everything is answered everywhere. I'm going to work on the process here a little bit too, because things have changed so much since I used to do this, as far as like where you can stream to and all that kind of thing. But wherever you're watching this, be sure to follow, subscribe, and let me know if there's any topics other than how to get orders on Legiit or what problem I have with Legiit that you would like me to cover, because I will do that. We can also just do these as like office hours type of thing, or AMA. I used to call it the water cooler. I don't think that translates very well, so I'm not going to go with that again. But if you have any suggestions on that with like a show name, that'd be great too. So it's 4:19 p.m. We'll probably give this to like 4:20. Yeah. Show. I'm super excited. We every week we have an executive meeting here at Legiit where the COO, the DOO, the co-founder slash, I guess, CTO, and myself, talk about what we're doing, what's planning, what's coming up, and so on. And it was really, really, I got to see a preview of what we're doing at Legiit for the rest of the year. I'm super duper pumped to see that. So it's going to really help our customers, and it's going to help really get rid of you people that are only here to like list a crappy low level service. So sorry if that upsets you, but it is what it is. A few people on Instagram today, so that's good. All right, I'm going to give you another 5 minutes and then we're going to wrap it up. So if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to talk to you about, now is your time. Speak now or forever hold your peace. There's a light that I forgot to turn on, so hold on. I don't think that really made much difference, but I'm more curious about your experience abroad. Yeah, so I mean, first of all, okay, let me talk. There's one thing that surprised me. The main thing I took or the main trip was to the Philippines, to Manila, but also Pasay, I think is the way it's pronounced. And that was really interesting. The people there were just unbelievably kind and supportive and warm. In fact, one morning well, a couple days I went and did like some travel stuff and some tour stuff with one of the ladies that works with me and like a tour company. And they picked me up at the hotel and she and I were standing in the lobby waiting for like the driver to show up. Excuse me. And people were just saying hello to me and hi and how's your morning and that stuff. And even she was like surprised at the reception. So wonderful people. A thing that surprised me, I was like, they have instead of Uber, they have what's called Grab, which is basically the same thing. And I was looking at like the fast food menus one night, and it was really interesting to me how different the menus are, even at like chains like McDonald's, but also they have a restaurant there called, I believe it's pronounced Jollibee, and they had stuff like spaghetti and rice and stuff. And it's just it's a fast food place, but the food is much different. It's much, I found it to be much heavier, but also much more nutritious and healthier. That was really good. The traffic there is a nightmare, and I don't mean any disrespect by that, but even like our tour guide told me that was the truth, to the case as well. So it was really scary, the traffic. I would not want to drive there. That was interesting. And for anybody that doesn't know, this was my first time out of the United States, so all of this was new to me. Another thing that surprised me is everything's written in English, despite it being an Asian country. And I mean everything from like the road signs to the businesses. I never once could not read what was on the screen, because it was not only was it in English, but it was only in English in a lot of the cases, which is very surprising to me. And I'm guessing that's probably not the case in other countries. Even on the way back, I had a layover in Tokyo, and it had stuff in Japanese, but it also had it in in English. And then there's another language, I don't remember what, but it had all three. And that was what I expected in the Philippines. But in the Philippines, everything was written in English, which was very surprising to me. Like the folks that I know that live there told me that everyone speaks English and would be able to understand me. And I wasn't surprised by that, but I was surprised by how much everything was in English. But my most positive thing was the people. I've never like gotten such a kind reception and such a warm feedback from people. Like, a lot of people, like, if you live in the South in the United States, you have this perception that everybody from New York is cold and impersonal and, stuff like that. Whether that's true or not, it depends on what you think. There's definitely some truth to it, but that is how I felt. I live in the South, as most of you know, and compared to the way it was in the Philippines, people in the Philippines would probably see where I live in the South in America the way that people in the South in America see the people in New York. They were just, so kind and so warm and so welcoming. I can't say that enough, and I've said it a lot over the last few days. So those are my biggest takeaways. The event itself was legendary. Really made me excited for our next year's Legit Live and how we're really going to step it up and improve things on that based on the experience there. So thank you to the hosts of that event as well. Tatia, who I know is well-traveled, says, I have to agree about you with the people in the Philippines, with the people there. Filipinos are so nice and always smiling and happy. Absolutely. Like, and it isn't, I mean, I'm sure some of it is just because, I know them and I was there for them and, that sort of thing. But it wasn't just that, because like the strangers in the street. Matter of fact, another one. As I was leaving, I want to say yesterday morning, the time difference makes it hard to keep track of what happened on what day. But as I was waiting to leave the Philippines, two things that I noticed were strange, not strange, but different there. But I was in line and they were doing the, zones so and so may now load. And at the end they said mabuhay, which is kind of like a greeting, and like kind of like aloha is in Hawaiian. And they said that, and I guess I must have mouthed that out loud while they were talking. And the guy in front of me was Filipino, and he like looked back at me and laughed. I explained to him it was one of the few words that I picked up, and I just had a nice conversation with him about that, like why I was there and things like that. That was really kind. And the other thing I noticed was that they load their planes back to front, which to me has always made way more sense. But in America, they load the planes front to back, which seems kind of like so stupid to me. And it worked much better. So that was very surprising to me. And actually, I meant to talk to you about that because I know you have a history in the airline industry, and I was curious to see what countries do that what way. Now that I've seen that it's not the same in every country, I've always wondered why other countries, or why our country does that. I don't know if it's country specific or what, but that was a surprise to me too. It's interesting, the like little things that you notice. But I'm going to go back. Like I don't plan. I am going to India in January for, I think it's called India SEO conference I'm going to be speaking at. And I'm thinking on the way back, I'm going to stop in the Philippines again and spend a little bit longer, see some of the other islands, but also just work there and see what that experience is like as well. So, yeah, got a few more folks on in the Superstar SEO Facebook group. So please say hello. I'm going to try to do this earlier in the day tomorrow because I think the turnout is a little bit better when I do. Yeah, see some of the other islands. Yeah, I intend to. I wasn't there long enough to really go exploring, but I did get to see. Gosh, I'm embarrassed that I don't remember the name of the city, but there was one city that's about 90 minutes away from Manila that we did a bunch of stuff. There's a volcano there that we saw it on Monday, and it erupted on either Wednesday or Thursday, and that was just incredible. And then on the second day of my tour, we went all around Manila, saw a bunch of like historic sites, saw some museums and some other like places like that. And that was really fun too. That was a guided tour, and that was great. Yeah, you can ask that if you want. Although I really don't want to turn these into that, but yeah, I'll be happy to ask that. One thing I want to tell you though, we don't call them gigs. Gigs is for the $5 marketplace. Tatia says yes. Emirates used to load from back as well. It makes a lot more sense. Brazil does not. Yeah, neither does America. And it seems so obvious to me to load front or back to front. Like I get that the first class people paid extra and they want to be able to sit for 40 minutes rather than stand, which also doesn't make sense. But I get that they maybe you let them on and then just go back to front. What they also did was unloading. They announced announced people that had like connection flights and let them off first. And then they announced what rows were allowed to offload. And it was so much smoother. It's so logical. And, airlines suck. Like, I think that's probably one of the most common things people would agree on in the world. But that was surprising to me too. So that's that. But, the topic of this stream was how to make money while you're traveling abroad. And if I had to break it down to two things, it would be people that you can trust, count on, and are well-trained and good at what they do, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, I did still keep a little bit of track of what was going on, but I can't do that like to the level that, I usually do. And then systems, of course, things for those people to execute on. So that's that. Schwabe, I covered this earlier. I'm just not going to get into that. I've had this fight with you before. We're not going to do that. If you are going to complain, if you have a legitimate question about Legiit, like VFM SEO here does, I'm going to answer that. Complaints, I'm not going to answer. VFM SEO says, what are most important points to follow when creating service image? It works really, really well to have a picture of you in the thumbnail. We have data that shows that thumbnails with that can get higher click-through rates than ones that don't. So that's that. That's really the main thing. The other thing is don't try to explain the service in the thumbnail. Have it be kind of just big letters on and something that entices the click. Remember, the point of the thumbnail is to get a click. Let me bring up mine and I can maybe explain that a little bit better. And I don't know if I can share a screen to Facebook, but I'll try. You see on mine, it has a picture of me. It's not the best picture because I shouldn't have sunglasses on. I need to get those redone. But the truth is I don't have any good pictures of me without sunglasses on. And then it's just some big text on what it is. I don't try to sell it. I just put what it is there. And the goal is to get good clicks from it. It's not to sell the service or explain the service. It's just to get somebody to click and then check out the page and let the page do the service. Jessica says, great tips. We have many freelancers who put all the metrics in their thumbnails too. It's overwhelming. Absolutely. And that's something I always tell when I do like profile consultations is that so many people try to stuff all this information into their thumbnail and it just doesn't work. You just have to get somebody to see it and go, I want 10,000 links, click. And then the people thing is just psychology, but I do need to get better pictures of me without the sunglasses on. So I am going to have to work on that. VFM SEO, it says perfect. Thank you, VFM SEO. I'm going to try to see real quick if I can, if I'm able to. Interesting. All right. I'm going to see if there's a way to, I know there's a way to share your screen on Facebook, but I don't know how to do it. Yeah, I'll figure that out another time. Really, you're going to get a better experience if you watch on YouTube, if I'm being perfectly honest. So just keep that in mind. I think that's going to be enough for this one, but we're going to start doing these again more frequently, at least a couple of times a week, if not 5 to 6 times a week. So if you're watching on YouTube, that's where I would love to have you the most, if I'm to be honest. But click subscribe and click notification bell. We're also going to start doing regular videos there again as well. So, subscribe, comment, like, share, whatever it is on the platform that you're watching. And then let me know, and you don't have to let me know right now, but you can let me know right now, but let me know what topics you want to talk about, want to cover, what things you'll have questions on, how I can be of service to you and the community. So I can do more of these, and I won't have to ramble in the moments when there's nothing there. So, all right, I guess that's it. Thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for your questions and engagement. And I'm sorry if I get cranky about the certain questions, but I gotta put a stop to that. I have to focus on who I want to help. And it's frankly, if it's going to be how do I get orders on Legiit, you're not the person I want to help. So, all right, guys, have a great day. I'll talk to you again soon. Peace.